strikeouts, I think 5 of them looking. What did you see particularly that was working so well for him?
So I thought he had a lot of things going well. I thought his two-seamer, he was able to start it outside and it was running back and just hitting the corner. I thought he spun the ball really well with both his curveball and a slider. I think it was breaking a little bit more than usual, and I think early on you saw some of them kind of bouncing. So once he was able to kind of get that in the zone a little bit, he was really good.
What was the situation with Buxton?
So Buck came out with right hip tightness, and so he's been obviously battling, and he's just an absolute warrior. So I think hitting first base there early on, and it just kept kind of tightening up on him. So that's obviously when we made the move, and we'll kind of see how he is tomorrow.
He slowed down between home and first in his last about. Was that when he felt it, or?
I think he probably felt it a little bit in the first, and then as the game went going, and I definitely saw what you saw, and then you kind of notice in the outfield a little bit he wouldn't close it in the way he usually does, but he's out there grinding and continuing to go, and then finally there 7th, 8th inning or so, that's when we decided to get Celestino in there and go from there.
In the first, is that when he's stretching from the base?
I think so. I think so. He hit top speed, and I think just kind of impacting the bag a little bit there.
Gotta see how he is tomorrow, but what's the level of concern right now?
I don't know the level of concern. He's been, as you guys know, he's been battling, a little bit. Certainly the hand, the knee, and the hip, all three things of those. So it's kind of moving around on him, and hopefully we get some good treatment. Just kind of see where we're at from there.
At what point did you decide to go with Durant for 2 innings in a one-run game?
Yeah, so we feel we've got a couple guys that can do it at the back end, and we're trying to keep that back end as fresh as we can. And so with Pagan throwing a lot of pitches last night, sent Durant out for the 8th, and when it was, he kept it underneath 15 pitches, and he obviously had his good stuff working. That's when we're kind of in the air. If that inning was a little more stressful in the 8th and had some more pitches, we were going to probably do something else. But when it was clean and quick, that's when we kind of decided to go back out for the 9th.
If you'd had the 9th in the 8th, where he kind of lost it for a second, might you have?
Yeah, I don't think we would have done that if those were flip-flop, just because of the pitch count. I think another thing that played well was him having the quick one in the 8th, and that our half inning was pretty lengthy. So I was a little bit concerned, 16, 17 minutes, but Wes also reminded me he's been a starter before. He's got a starter background, so he kind of knew how to stay warm and manage that 20 minds or so in between. And he did a good job of that.
Losing the plate there for a second and hitting a guy, kind of a reminder that he's a kid.
I think you're right. I think you just get a little bit emotional, and you get the 2 outs, and then the ball was really coming out of his hand well, and so I think he lost it for a second, but it was great to see him lock it back in on, I think it was Betancourt there, for the final out.
What does Wes go out there and tell him in that situation when he goes out to visit? Just settle down, or a game plan?
I don't know, but it was a really good speech because it seemed to work. So, yeah.
What do you feel about or how do you feel about the variety of looks that you guys can throw at them from the bullpen, whether it's Danny from the left and Griffin with the frisbee slider kind of go on?
Yeah, we've got some guys that I think are really coming along. They're throwing the ball well. A couple of the young guys continued. It feels like every time they grab the ball, they're getting better. So you're right. We've got a couple different looks, and right now we've got a lot of guys down there that are doing their job, and that makes it a lot of fun.
You're back to 6 healthy starters now with Sonny. Do you guys have a sense for how you're going to continue to handle the rotation right now?
Right now, we know we got a game tomorrow and then the off day, and so we're kind of focused on tomorrow, and then we're going to have some time to kind of sort through all that. So we're really just kind of focused on tomorrow right now.
And how did Carlos